Welcome to ePathshala lecture series in computer science. The subject is software quality management. Today's module is software documentation. Documentation is an important activity in software development. Even in day to day activities, we are doing many things, but we are not recording. Therefore, we are not getting the credit for the work we have done. For example, in the college, we are doing many activities which are not recorded. On the other hand, if you record everything, we can understand what and all we have done. In software development also, documentation is very important. Whenever you develop a software, you are deciding about the logic, you are designing algorithms, you are designing a database, writing the program and implementing it. All these activities are planned in a sequential way and it is implemented. If there is no documentation, if you want to make changes in future, you will not be remembering. In real life applications, the software developed this year may be used at a later year by the same company or by a customer. If they want some changes to the software, if it is the current software, we can remember what and all we have done. On the other hand, if it was a software project which was finished earlier, we will not remember everything. We have to refer to the program, we have to refer to the documents. If the project was documented well, we can understand what and all we have done earlier, what and all changes we have to do, and we can make the changes very easily. Suppose you do not have documentation, you have to read the program completely, understand it, it will take time. Suppose the team members including you are going away from the company, then it is not possible for the new user or the new developer to understand the existing code. Therefore, without documentation, it is difficult to understand what was done. So, we need documentation for analysis, we need a requirement document, we need design document, we need documents for coding, and within the code we can write comment lines as document, and whatever changes you are making, we can write in a notebook or in a soft copy, we can write what and all changes we have made, so that whenever we want to make changes, we can refer to that and make changes easily. So, documentation is an important activity in software development life cycle. Now, learning objectives. The objectives are to introduce the necessity for documentation, to show the importance of documentation to improve software quality, to provide an overall idea about naming conventions, and to explain about documentation of files. Now, we will come to why documentation is necessary. Documentation is often seriously neglected by software programmers. If you ask a programmer, he gives importance to analysis, he takes design seriously, he is coding seriously, testing seriously, but no programmer is giving importance to documentation. In all the standards including ISO standard, people are looking for documentation only. Unless you have a good documentation, you cannot have a record of what you have done. Therefore, documentation also should be included as a phase in the life cycle, software development life cycle phases. If you see, even starting from waterfall model, in all the models, they are not considering documentation as a activity, but documentation is an important activity. It should be also included in the software development life cycle. Many projects and companies have failed due to poor quality documentation. If the documentation is not good, later on when they want to do modifications, they take time, they spend more energy. As a result of that, projects are delayed. Now, they end up with poor quality software development. If you find your programmer does not or will not document the software, then it is best to get rid of them now. That is, many programmers think that documentation is not their work, documentation is not important, documentation is not necessary, and so on. If some programmer is not willing to do documentation, it is nice that you have to send him out when the project is completed. Even before the completion also, it is advisable to send him out. If the software is documented and the programmers leave, the only option is undocumented and the programmers leave, the only option is to start it again and rewrite all. Many programmers, if they do not do documentation, when they go out, we have to call them. If they are willing to come and help, they will come and help. Otherwise, we have to start the project from the beginning. We have to rewrite the code. Picking up the pieces of poorly documented software is very expensive and time consuming exercise. Suppose you are taking a poorly documented software and trying to improve the documentation or trying to modify the software, it will take more time than new development. So, if documents are not available, it is better to go for new development. It is cheaper to start from scratch rather than using a poorly documented software. Now, why you have to do documentation? The reasons are, you can understand the software. If you do the documentation, suppose you are the developer, you will understand what you have done. If you are a group member, you will understand what is done by all the group members. If you are a tester, you will understand what is done by the developer. If you are a project manager, you will understand what the developers they have done and what type of coding is written. So, documentation will make you to understand the software. The software can be understood by other people. If you make a software with a good documentation, you need not explain the software to others. It is self-explanatory. Any other person who wants to read your software, they can understand just by reading the documentation. Advanced projects can be undertaken. Once you do documentation for a small project, you are good in documentation, you are able to guide others to do modifications very easily. Therefore, we can go for very big projects. Bigger projects will be the combination of smaller projects. If you are able to do documentation in a small project, then you will do a better documentation in the bigger project also. You can use parts of the code for other projects. Some codes are reusable. If you do proper documentation, which code can be used for the newer projects from the old project, you can take that and use it, reuse it to make life easier for yourself. If you do documentation, we can understand what and all were done for the previous project, where there was a problem, where complexity was there, how complexity was overcome, where it was stuck up, how it was continued. All that details will be understood by reading the documentation. So, documentation is very essential and you must also understand, others also must understand the documentation. Many software programmers are reluctant to do the documentation to their software. The reason is they may be interested in keeping the control over their software. Many people are there, they know how they have developed, they may be a good developer, they are very good programmer, they can finish the job very faster than others, but they do not do the documentation to avoid that other people should not understand. Such people are writing program, up to the time they are residing in the company, you can make them to work, and that also they will demand. Sometimes they will use it as a means to apply pressure on their companies for a pay rise or a better position. That is why they are not willing to do documentation. Somebody, they may be asking for promotion. Suppose they are eligible for a single promotion, they may ask for double or triple promotion. It is not possible for the company to give a person more than one promotion at a time when his counterparts are not asking for that. Now, there must be a uniform seniority among the people, and we must make everybody happy. If you are focusing on one person and making him happy, others will be frustrated. Therefore, if documentation is available, even if the person who is developing the software is not available, we can make other people in the group to work for the project. That is why documentation is necessary. If somebody is willing to keep the control of the software with him, suppose he is on leave for a day, no work will be done. Similarly, there is somebody whom is not liked by this person. The person who developed the software may like some people and may not like some people. The people whom he liked, he will support by explaining the documentation. The people whom he does not like, he will not explain and he will make them to prolong their work for many days. It will create a bad impression on the colleagues who are depending upon this software. They may also wish to hide their ignorance of software programming or the understanding of the project in which they are engaged. There may be somebody who is writing a wrong software, but he is not doing documentation. It may be working for some type of input, may not work for some other type of input. During testing, if it is well documented, a thorough testing should have been done. Due to poor documentation, some test cases should have been prepared in a hurry and it should have been tested partially. With partial testing, if it is working, it may be given to the client. The client may be in trouble when there is a fault. That time, the client will come to the developer. If the developer is a good person, he will be able to pick up and do the corrections easily. On the other hand, if the developer is guiding the mistakes, then he will say that it is not possible, or he will say that it is a mistake of the user or the customer. He should have made the requirements in a clear way. He was not providing the requirements in a clear way, like that he will claim. There are possibilities that false claims may be entertained by a person like this. Some think that documentation is a boring task and slows down the creativity. Many people think that if they are allowed to write only code, they can develop software 10 times faster than writing software with the documentation. For them, documentation is a boring work. Even though it is boring work during the development, even though it take more time for documentation, it is necessary. The reason is the software is not developed for a single day. It may be running for many years. It is given to different customers. In the customer site, they may face problem. When they face problem, if you give the source code also, they must be able to modify it, or they must be able to understand what is the problem. They must come to the developer with thorough understanding of the problem, so that the developer can make changes very easily. In reality, software documentation is essential for any software project, particularly if the project is a team effort. Software programmers who do not document their work are not good developers, and they should not be allowed to continue in the company. They must be sent out whenever they do not want to do the documentation. We must give them time, enough time. We must request them, we must advise them to go for documentation. Even if in spite of many requests, if they are not able to, not willing to do documentation, then we must avoid them. Guidelines for documentation. Each company will have its own standards for titles and document numbers. For example, one company A will have some standard for documentation. Company B will have another type of standards for documentation. You have to follow the standards provided by your company. So that just by seeing the titles, the way the document is written, we must understand that the document is belonging to so and so company. It may also have a change control document procedure in place. Whenever version control or change control is taking place through software configuration management procedures, then the document is also to be updated. Therefore, there must be a procedure to update the documents also. This information is best included at the beginning of any software, and release or version numbers are good idea for software that is ready for commercial exploitation. You can give version number for different versions, different type of documents you have to give. For 1.1 one type of documentation, 1.2 different documentation, and higher versions will have elaborate documentation than the lower versions. So, for the first reuse of the software with minor modifications 1.1 to 1.1 minor modification. If it is a major change 1 to 2, 2 to 3 like that it should go. The first digit is only changed for major enhancements of the software. For example, 1.2, 1.0 will change to 2.0. Now, we will see some guidelines for documentation. Keep the documentation easy to read. It should be clear, it should be concise, and avoid jargons. Do not go for good English, do not go for very big terminology, go for a simple English. It should be understood by everybody. The first part of the program should contain a brief description of the overall function of the program. So, we can give documentation for the entire program, function by function, loop upon loop, or statement upon statement, like that different type of documentation should be there. But overall the software what is doing for the entire program, some documentation should be there. Do not launch into technical details straight away. In the documentation you have to write in English, do not go for formula ways or scientific ways, so that the documentation can be understood by any person. Slowly build up the description, unveiling details where they are needed, such as in each method and each line of code. You start with entire software, then function by function or method by method, after that line by line or every group of statements coming in a within begin and end, maybe loop by loop or a compound statement and so on. Now, the big question is, if anybody else reads your program, will they be able to understand it? If you do not do documentation well, then the people other than you cannot understand your program. You should write document in such a way that whatever software you are developing, it should be understood by any other person. Distributed code. Once a program code is distributed throughout the files, for example, picture file, data file, sound file, packages, library files, include files and archive files. Now, we must create a dictionary like thing for lookup, which will say that this component is available in that file, that component is available in that file. For example, you are sending a research paper. When you send a research paper, they may ask you to send the diagrams separately, tables and figures separately, the original document separately, results separately, biodata separately, abstract separately, like that. Therefore, you must know where and all you have kept them and what file names you have given, suitable file names also you have to give, so that it is easy to search and find it. Ensure documentation includes what files are needed and where they are located. You may have to copy and compile and run programs on other machines. So, you should have written a program for running in one machine, but the same program when you are running in different machine, it will have a different operating system. For example, you are having a window based operating system, your machine is having Windows and some other system you are going to use. This application has to run in that machine, even though it is loaded with Unix or Linux or some other operating system. Naming conventions. You take a programming language, in every programming language naming conventions are there. For C language separate rules are there, for COBOL separate rules are there, for Java separate rules are there. For today's discussion, I will take the naming conventions of Java. Based on Java, I will explain how to do meaningful names. Whenever you write a program, do not go for int ABC or integer XYZ. You have to say integer, for example, it is for mark, subject mathematics mark, physics mark, total mark, average mark, like that you have to write. So, naming convention says class names should begin with uppercase letter and have mixed case. Now, in C they do not enforce this rule, but in Java classes are available. In C++ classes are there, but naming convention is not there. In Java naming convention are it should begin with an upper class and it can have mixed case. For example, time zone, input reader, you see time zone, time is the first word, zone is the second word. These two words are joined together to form a single variable name. So, time zone and input reader, they are given as a single variable name. Function names should begin with a lower case letter and have mixed case when appropriate. For example, read integer of or get default, these are all examples of function names. Now, variable names, it should not include uppercase letters, it should be in lower case letter, for example, acceleration, current time, etc. If you join more than one word, you can put an underscore. Constants should be in capital letters, you see example velocity of light. Now, method description, every method in Java must have a title and you can give a overall description of what the method is doing, what are the input parameters and what data types are available, what is the return type of, for the method, and give a description for each of the local constant and variable. For each line of code, give a brief description of what the line does. So, line by line, what variables are used, what the line is doing, what constants are used, like that you can give a definition, a description. Now, method descriptions, the parameter name, data type should be given as input and the output is the parameter and the data type. So, the name of the method, what it does, how it does, all that things will be coming inside the method. Indentation spacing are also very important. When I see new programmers, they do not do any indentation. Therefore, we are not able to find where the if statement starts, where it ends, where the while loop starts, where it ends, where the for loop starts, where it ends. If it is a nested if, where the innermost if is there and where is the next if, where is the next if, like that we are not able to identify. Similarly, nested loops also we are not able to understand if it is not indented properly. So, indentation is necessary to make the style. It is used to illustrate structural relationship among programs components or statements. You should indent each subcomponent or statement with the two spaces more than the structure within which it is nested. We will see an indentation spacing for Java program. You see the random access file W data, it is a object new random access file. Now, constructor is used to create the random access file, the file info is given and the mode is read write. For C equal to C less than or equal to dent minus 10, C equal to n plus number of characters. Now, here we are using two for loop to maintain the array. Now, it is converted into array to string, it is done. Now, the string is written in the form of bytes. This is an example program. Here you see the indentation and spacing. The indentation is for loop is coming outside, inner par is coming inside, inner par ending with a bracket, outer par is ending with another bracket and so on. Java has automatic documentation feature. In the Java development kit, there is a utility which is used for automatically procedure documentation. This documentation includes the user comment statements placed between as a star and star as. If you write something in between star as and as star, it is considered as comments. That comments, writing the comments itself is a type of documentation only. It will also generate documentation of the class and class hierarchy of the structure of the program. Java as a automatic documentation tool. So, you can use Java doc comments at the beginning of the program to state your name, class and give a brief description of the program. Use Java C documentation comments to describe an entire method. Use line comments to describe the steps in a method. So, they are providing a method methodology to describe the entire program, to describe only the method and so on. Indent your substatement, your statement into two spaces. So, do not give statement in one space, give two space between statements, leaving a blank line before a comment line or a comment space. Whenever you have people coming from college A, college B and so on, they are developing different modules, they are integrated together. When you are integrating, if there is no gap between A and B, we can understand that there is a gap between the module A and module B. In this way, we are using the space to identify different modules. Here, you have to give space very clearly in Java also. Now, we have seen the importance of software documentation in this session. We have many life cycle activities like analysis, design, coding, testing and so on. But in the previous session, we have seen that reviews also should be scheduled. In the schedule, we have to include the reviews also as a date for developing. Similarly, all modifications are coming through some request. That request should be documented, so that in future if somebody is willing to understand, know that who has documented, who has made the changes and who developed the software, we can see that. And we will see the conclusions. 80% of the lifetime of cost of a piece of software goes to maintenance. So, maintenance will be easy if good documentation is there. Since 80-20 rule, 80% of the time documentation only people are looking on. Hardly any software is maintained for its whole life by original author. We are developing a software, giving it to some company. Even if you are working in a government organization, when you are working, you are developing a software, you are giving to the organization. Sometimes you will come out of the organization. Even if you come out of the organization is able to use your software. This is what happening even in my real life. I developed software, whatever software I have developed for Government of India, I have submitted, and even after I moved from central government to state government, my softwares were used by the previous employers. Hardly any software is maintained for its whole life by the original author. Code conventions and documentation improve the readability of the software. If you follow the software documentation procedures, now anybody can read your software like reading English language textbooks. It allows software engineers to understand the new code more quickly and thoroughly. These are the main advantages of documentation. So, in today's class, we have seen the importance of documentation and who should do documentation, when it must be done, if it is not done, what are the problems we have seen. So, from this day you should understand that whenever you are going and developing a software, even for a lab work, do the documentation. You can do the documentation in a separate file or in the same file. You can do procedure by procedure documentation or line by line documentation, loop by loop documentation or function by function documentation. If you do line by line documentation, at the end of every line give / and write a documentation. Suppose you are doing a documentation for the group of sentences, start with /*, write the documentation whatever you want to write, then end with star slash. So, many programming languages they support documentation in more than one way. For example, in C++, you can go for line by line documentation as well as group of line documentation. On the other hand, in Fortran and COBOL, if you want to do documentation line by line, you have to write one line of documentation, then go for one line of programming, then go for one line of documentation and so on. But all the modern languages, modern programming languages like Java, they allow you to do line by line documentation as well as the entire documentation. From this, documentation is provided as a facility in Java. There is a tool for automatic documentation. You can run the documentation by give the program and the name of the software documentation. You can get a automatically generated document. You can edit it to suit your needs, so that whatever document you are developing, it is documented well. When you are submitting to the customer, if the customer is interested in doing modifications after so many years, you can do modifications just by reading the software, not by putting so much of effort to read everything from the beginning and understand them. So, I conclude that documentation is very important and every software programmer must do documentation of their work. Thank you.